Now, I like Michael Moore. He makes a really, really good political documentary. And he has a really good way of editing it and putting the information out there that is generally really good. I can't really fault him for his documentary filmmaking skills. However, he's also quite political himself and gets involved in a lot of political stuff, especially in America. Now, I think that what he said here does worth paying attention to. Last election, he was very, very much a Hillary supporter and wanted Hillary in over Trump. And one of the things he was warning the Hillary campaign was, you're ignoring, the Rust Belt states. And from what we, again, saw in election night, it was those states that flipped to Trump that gave him that win. So it is sort of worrying when he comes out with what we're about to go through here. And I think, I really, if I was American, there was no doubt in my mind I would be voting Biden. Even if I was a Bernie Sanders supporter, I'd be voting Biden, because voting Biden is the lesser of two evils in this case. And trust me, you do not want Trump in for another term, because the damage that he will do will be even worse than his first term. You think the first term was bad? Wait until you see his second term. Oof. So, anyway, this comes from The Guardian, and it's Michael Moore warns that Donald Trump is on course to repeat his 2016 win. So, the documentary filmmaker Michael Moore has warned that Donald Trump appears to have such a momentum in some battleground states that liberals risk a repeat of 2016, when many wrote off Trump only to see him grab the White House. Sorry to have to provide the reality check again, he said. Moore, one of those few political observers to predict Trump's victory over Hillary Clinton in 2016, said that the enthusiasm for Trump is off the charts in key areas compared with the Democratic Party nominee Joe Biden. Are you ready for a Trump victory? Are you mentally prepared to be outsmarted by Trump again? Do you find comfort in your certainty that there is no way Trump can win? Are you concerned with the trust you have placed in the DNC, that's the Democratic National Committee, to pull this off? Moore posted on Facebook late last Friday. The president even tweeted about Moore on Sunday morning. Moore identified opinion polling in battleground states such as Minnesota and Michigan to make the case that the sitting president is running alongside or ahead of his rival. The Biden campaign just announced that it will be visiting a number of states, but not Michigan. Sound familiar? Moore wrote, presumably about meaning Hillary Clinton's 2016 race, when she made the error of avoiding some states that then swung to Trump. I'm warning you almost 10 weeks in advance. The enthusiasm level for the 60 million in the Trump's base is off the charts. For Joe, not so much, he later added. He continued to voters, don't leave it to the Democrats to get rid of Trump. You have to get rid of Trump. Yes, we have to wake up every day for the next 67 days and make sure that each of us are going to get 100 people out to vote. Act now. Moore cited the CNN polling of registered voters this month to assert that Biden and Trump were in a virtual tie, including a poll that showed the pair tied at 47% for Minnesota. And Moore said that Trump has closed the gap to 4 points in Michigan. A national CNN poll this month showed that Biden had a lead over Trump, has narrowed nationwide by 50% to 46%, while a survey from the Republican-leaning Trafalgar Group found that Biden and Trump statistically tied for 47% in Minnesota, and Trump narrowly leading Biden in Michigan. The margin of error for the poll, surveyed at least of over 1,000 people, is at 2.98%. Moore, a vocal supporter for Bernie Sanders and left-wing candidacy, warned in October of 2016 that Trump's election is going to be the biggest ever FU ever recorded in human history, and it will feel good, even as Clinton appeared to be sailing to victory. When Trump whether Trump means it or not is kind of irrelevant, because he's saying the things to people who are hurting, and that's why even downbeaten, nameless, forgotten working stiffs who used to be part of what was called the middle class loves Trump. Moore warned in 2016. Moore's latest warnings come as Trump said at a campaign event in New Hampshire on Friday night. The support seeing the first female president of the United States, but recommending his daughter over the Democratic vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris. They're all saying we want Ivanka, Trump told his supporters. I don't blame them. And yeah, this is generally quite worrying, to be honest. And in a way, Moore's right. If you are a Democrat, if you're a liberal, if you are left-leaning, you have to get out there and you have to make sure that you get 100 people out there to go and vote. Because he's right. The Democrats aren't going to remove Trump. The voters are going to be the ones to remove Trump. And their strategy to be like a harbour at the moment, to try and take in some sort of like the political refugees from the right who feel alienated because Trump has, pushed the right so far off the cliff edge that they now live in some sort of bizarre alternate reality, is really, really worrying. And I said this at the beginning of this video, but if you thought Trump's first term was going to be bad, think about what his second term is going to be bad. You've only got to look at his website, where he's not got policies, just random statements, like teaching American exceptionalism. What does that mean? What exactly do you mean by that? And for all I know, he doesn't actually even have the power to be able to do that. But, as Moore said there, he's saying the right things. And this is one of the things about populism. Some things you can say the right things, and you don't even have to do acts when you get into office on them, because you can just say that you've done them, like Trump has for years during his time. But that's the worrying thing. Like I say, I do hope he leaves, because it would be at least a step in the right direction. But as for us over here in Brexit, we ain't got a cat in hell's chance until at least we get rid of the Tories. But the penny will start to drop from next year. And I think that penny is going to drop very, very hard. Very hard indeed. And like I say, obviously on my wall, I am still waiting for the time we have a Daily Mail or Daily Express front page headline that says, "This isn't the Brexit we voted for." I'm waiting for that day. Because that will be the first time I ever actually buy one of those newspapers, and the last time as well. We'll go through the article, we'll read it, we will laugh, we'll have a fun time, and then it will be mounted on my wall back there for all to see for time immemorial. But nevertheless, it will be loads and loads of fun. So please do like and share this video. It does help out the channel. Like I say, if you are new to the channel, we do talk about British politics and Brexit a lot, because you can't talk about British politics without talking about Brexit. It is a thing. It's like you can't talk about American politics without talking about Trump. At least you have the option to get rid of Trump and return to at least somewhat normalcy. We'll see how that works, but we'll see. Nevertheless, like I say, interesting times for America. We will be covering the lead up to American politics, because obviously it's quite important. It will affect the UK quite heavily, especially when it comes to trade. Like I say, you've got the Trade Secretary Wilbur Ross saying that it's America's God-given right to take jobs from the UK. So, yeah, there's that. So thanks, Brexiteers, because you allowed America to take our jobs. So yeah, if you'd like to support the channel another way, there are links down below to my Patreon page and a one-off donation link, should you like to support the channel that way. And as always, if you can't be safe, be sensible, and we'll see you all next time.